Hello guys, my name is Carlos and today we're making flour tortillas. Who doesn't like tacos? And how many times have you craved tacos at home but you can't find good tortillas? Well, why don't you just make your own? Today I'm gonna show you a recipe that is really close to the traditional one, but it's using some British ingredients. And just as a note, even though commonly in Mexico tortillas are made out of corn, flour tortillas are also really popular, and they can be used just as any regular tortilla to make tacos or quesadillas, but then flour tortillas are also used to make things like burritos, sincronizadas, and gringas. Alright, so let's get started.
These are the ingredients we're gonna use. We're gonna go with 400 grams of white wheat flour, 50 grams of whole wheat spelt flour. Traditionally, this recipe is made only with wheat flour. However, I like the addition of the whole wheat spelt flour because it just builds on the flavor, and also because it starts to make that play of cooking Mexican food using really good British ingredients. Half a teaspoon of baking powder and half a teaspoon of salt. Now I'm gonna mix this for a little bit, and then I'm gonna add 60 grams of room temperature butter. Traditionally, flour tortillas are made with lard, and you can totally use lard if you want to, but I just chose to use butter because I really like the flavor like this and the texture that I get at the end. Once the mix looks like this, which is like a sand consistency, I'm gonna add the water and the milk. They are both at room temperature, and then I'm gonna mix again. You can do it on the counter, but I just prefer to use a bowl because that way it doesn't get messy. In this recipe, all the ingredients are important. However, the main ones are the flours. So I recommend that you really try to find the best flours that you can. In this case, I found this Shipton mill flours in a local store in Clapton called Casey's. Once you get a dough that looks like this, so all the ingredients have been incorporated, you have two options. You can either work it on a counter to develop the gluten, or if you have time, just leave it in the bowl, cover it, and let it rest for an hour. That way the gluten is gonna develop on its own. Let's make this test. Right now, if I stretch it, it just breaks. And then let's just wait for an hour and come back to this. It's been an hour. If you can let it rest for even longer, it's better. I can stretch it a lot and it doesn't break. This means that the gluten has developed and now it's ready to be rolled. Cool. So from here, what we're gonna do is just weigh 25 gram balls. It doesn't need to be exact, but as close as possible. And this is gonna give us around 30 tortillas. Here we have our balls ready, and then again we're gonna let this rest for about 5-10 minutes with just a little bit of flour at the bottom and then a little bit on top, and a rolling pin. We're gonna flatten them. Ideally, you're gonna go for a circle, but they're homemade, so really don't worry about making them perfect. They're gonna be delicious anyway. So what I'm doing here is I'm starting at the center and then going up and down, and then I flip it, and then I do the same. Flip it again. And then you want to go as thin as you can. So this is going to be maybe like 1 millimeter thick. This is a good size for me. So this is about what, like a 15 centimeter diameter. And again, it doesn't have to be a perfect circle. You know, just aim for it, and then whatever turns out, it's gonna be delicious anyway. Be ready with something to put the tortillas in once they're ready, so that they don't dry. Here I have this is called a tortillero. It's just basically a sleeve from Oaxaca to put tortillas in. But if you don't have it, you can just use a clean dishcloth with no oil or anything. I'm just gonna start cooking these tortillas. You want to flip them only 2 times, and this is gonna go really fast. As long as you see these blisters there, you flip it. When you start to see how those bubbles are formed, it means that it's cooking really nicely. So once I have a bit more of those bubbles, I flip it again. That's the second time that I flipped it. And just look at this. This is exactly what you want. This means that this tortilla is cooking really, really nicely. Okay, so after this is ready to go. And I put it here just so that I can keep it warm and soft. And I keep going. This needs to be quite hot, because you want to cook the tortillas really fast. The faster you do, the more moisture they're gonna retain, which is gonna make them softer and more flexible. And the more coloration you're gonna get, and that's gonna mean more flavor. You see that the cooking time, it takes less than 1 minute. This is beautiful.
The tortillas can be the last thing that you cook before you serve the meal. And whether you're cooking for your family or for your friends, I recommend that you just bring everything to the table and then let everybody make their own tacos. This is the way it's more fun. For example, here I have cochinita pibil, which is a slow cooked pork shoulder in an achiote marinade with orange. That's why it looks so bright red. This one here is a vegetarian stew or guisado made with squash and kale. And then I made a sauce with guajillo and ancho chiles. And then the other great secret for Mexican food besides the tortillas are the salsas. And here I have a really fun selection. This one here is a salsa verde. So this is acid and fruity. It has a little bit of Scotch bonnet chile. This one here is a salsa roja. It's made with a chipotle chile and guajillo chile, so this is smoky, also a bit spicy. This one is also from the southeast of Mexico. It's a very traditional hot sauce. So what it is charcoal Scotch bonnet. Traditionally in Mexico we use habanero. And then pink pickled onion. And it's just pickled in lime juice. There's a little bit of oregano, and that's it. And then, of course, with Mexican food, we have some fresh guacamole. There are no set rules, but something that I like to do is have my tortilla in the plate there. I put a little bit of guacamole in the bottom. Then I'm gonna go for cochinita for my first taco. Just like this. And then I'm gonna go for a mix of this tomatillo salsa, so that I have a contrast in flavors. And then, because I really like spicy food, I'm gonna put a little bit of this on top. And that's it. This is so delicious. Oh wow. The tortilla just makes everything unique, because it's this pillowy, soft casing for whatever you want to put inside. It's chewy in a nice way, and it just holds everything nicely. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm gonna make myself another taco. If you would like some help or you have any questions, please get in touch. The details on how to contact me are in the video in the description below. And yeah, have some fun cooking Mexican food. See you later. Bye.